Artificial intelligence has been an emerging industry for the past couple of years. There have been countless films depicting the future of AI. To a certain extent, AI is used in our everyday lives. AI is used in advertising and is even better than humans in some limited domains, like chess and Go. They're both board games. But this video isn't about the impacts AI will have on society, rather the impact it will have on the art community. From what I can tell, there are two distinct sides. The people who hate AI art, generally artists, and the people who love to use it, generally not artists. They've also been called AI bros. My aim is to answer a set of questions to determine why AI art has such a negative reaction toward it, whether that reaction is justified, and whether or not AI art will have a significant impact on the art community as many people believe it will. Throughout this video, you will hear the opinions of artists that I've interviewed in preparation for this video. The links to their social media platforms will be in the description, and they will appear on screen in the order of which they speak. In addition, I pose these questions not only to the artists I'm interviewing, but to the audience as well. First, we have to define what art is. So, what is art?
For me, art is a form of communication and expression, and of putting like emotion into image and that I can feel, idea that will give me joy. Art can be a lot, but not everything, and creativity is really important, but you need to be able to explain what your art is as well.
Art is defined as the expression or application of human creative skill and imagination, typically in a visual form such as a painting or sculpture, producing works to be appreciated primarily for their beauty or emotional power. When you consider this definition, the question becomes, is an AI capable of making art? By the definition, I think not. But there's an argument to be made that because a human is using the AI to produce art, the AI only acts as an enabler in the same way that a paintbrush enables a painter. I'm not exactly sure what art is myself. I think it depends on a lot of things. Ask yourself these questions. Is the process of creating art even relevant? Or is the end result all that matters? Maybe a mix of both. I guarantee you'll get different answers depending on who you ask. At the end of the day, I don't think there is a right answer because art itself is subjective. Different people will receive different messages from the same piece of art, and because of that, the definition of art will change based on the person analyzing the work in question. Most people define art as having a human component, and I think this is one of the most important aspects of it. In most fields of work, there is a crucial human component. In the military, food services, and legal professions, there is a critical human component, often providing planning, and if it comes to it, improvisation that cannot be replicated by AI for the most part. This human component is even more important in art than any other profession. You have to have an artist to bring your vision into reality, in the same way that you prefer to talk to a human representative rather than a robot for technical issues. Humans can understand very complex tasks. This attention to detail is not present in AI for now at least. For example, close your eyes and just listen and imagine the scene I'm describing. It's a sunny day, you're at the park, sitting under a tree enjoying the shade it provides. As you look to your left, you see people sitting by the water. Even further out into the water, there are boats. To your right, there are a substantial number of people, not in a group, but all in the same general area. Some are lounging, others are conversing. There's even a dog eating off the ground. It's a peaceful Sunday afternoon at the park. Open your eyes. If you're very knowledgeable about art, you no doubt have recognized the artwork I was describing. It is a Sunday afternoon on the island of Le Grand Jatte. I'm not French, but I tried my best. In its simplicity, it provides an overwhelming amount of detail, enough to inspire a Broadway musical. That is just simply not the case for most AI art. As of right now, I am not aware of any AI art programs that can produce a detailed character in the foreground as well as produce a detailed background. The level of detail provided by a human artist far surpasses the amount of detail provided by an AI program, at least ones that are available to the public. In most cases, these artists have been producing art for years, and in that time they've built up an expertise, an eye to spot small details and improve upon them. And for the most part, AI art is not capable of replicating that, as of right now at least. However, the human component has its negatives. Because people often understand and communicate differently, miscommunication and misinterpretation happens relatively often. That combined with laziness, lack of effort, or random life events on either side can lead to negative experiences. For example, I made a video and commissioned an artist for a thumbnail. A timeline of 14 days was agreed upon. That was back in early November of 2022. It is now February of 2023, and I still have not received anything yet. This specific artist's character is lacking, and I knew that when I started, so I can only blame myself for this one. But even though it was my fault, it has made me very hesitant when commissioning other artists. We are creatures of habit after all. The next question is, why do some artists hate AI art?
It's very simple. Just this sentence alone. They should not steal people's work to sell commercially. Like, especially to those artists that are doing this for a living. For example, Sam does art. I don't know if you know the artist, but he's pretty big on the art community. With that AI art, like this thing going on, people can literally copy his work and they will write there like, oh, I sell this work for like 50 USD. It just doesn't sound right. And it just sounds really pretty shitty to do. And that's what's happening for the AI art.
It doesn't take a genius to realize why artists don't like AI art. It is in direct competition with them. In my far from expert opinion, in a couple of years, I believe AI art will be completely indistinguishable from normal art, and I imagine this is a scary thought for artists. The negative sentiment becomes even more apparent when you consider these factors: commission cost, commission time, and the fact that some AI art programs will use art they find online to produce a new piece of art. Let me give you an example. If I want to commission an artist, the cost could be anywhere from $20 to $150 depending on the price sheet of the specific artist. After I pay, I then have to wait. The time I have to wait heavily depends on the commission slot I got and the overall complexity of my commission. I've waited anywhere from days to weeks to months for commissions. And to be fair, all of this is totally reasonable. I do not expect these artists to slave all day and night to draw my Sonic OC. They have families to feed and they have lives to live. While these factors are 100% reasonable, they are also the reason that some people prefer AI art. Let me ask you this question. Why do people like AI art?
People want cheap stuff. People want cheap labor and cheap products rather than having to commission or set up a partnership with artists, especially when high quality art with interesting art styles can be quite costly as a result of popularity of these high quality artists. So rather than going through the trouble of actually paying a substantial amount of money, they would much rather use a free image generator regardless of the moral implications, especially since a lot of these generators can imitate the art style of a popular artist.
Consumers in recent history care about two things above all: cost and ease of access. Just look at the popularity of fast food chains, delivery services, and taxi services. All of them provide either low cost or extreme ease of access. Contrary to the norm, the art industry isn't like that. I have to go out of my way to find an artist, describe what I want to them, and then wait for my commission to be finished, assuming that the artist has commission slots open. But before you grab your pitchforks, hear me out. From a purely financial standpoint, why would a person pay $50 to $150 for one commission when they can pay $30 a month to Midjourney and produce as many images as they want? It's like when you're at a store and you see Frosted Flakes, but then you see a cereal named Corn Flakes with frosting. Yes, you're paying for a product that is lower quality, but you're paying less for it. It's very hard for a consumer to go with the more expensive option. As a consumer, if I were to pick an AI over a real artist, I would give up specificity and quality for quantity and cost. As of right now, I cannot describe a very detailed scene with specific characters to an AI, but what's that they say about a room full of monkeys and typewriters? For example, I am displaying a series of images on the screen, and I'd like you to think about which ones are AI generated and which ones are drawn by an artist. Even though AI art is in its infancy, it is easy to confuse AI art with real art, especially if the user of the AI program has some basic knowledge of Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator to correct some of the mistakes that the AI can make. Which specific pieces of art were generated by an AI will be in the pinned comments in the comment section where the comments are. The final question is, what are the implications of AI art?
AI is not going anywhere, but a lot of artists are fighting for it to be regulated in court. Despite that, there will always be people who use technology to do unethical things. As for its impact, I can't really understand how much it will have, but it will definitely not replace real artists, especially in the game and movie industries. It might affect independent artists doing commissions to some degree, but I'm not sure. It's hard to understand the full scope of the situation.
To keep it short and simple, if you are for AI, things will be better for you. As AI continues to improve at a rapid pace, AI art will be harder to distinguish from real art, and it will probably become vastly cheaper. In my not so expert opinion, I believe that AI will soon be able to animate effectively, because what is animation but a series of images? If you are against AI art, I believe the future is not looking super hot. As I previously mentioned, AI will become better at replicating art, meaning people will be able to commission AI rather than a person. From a consumer's point of view, why pay a human for a similar job when an AI can do it faster and cheaper? Just like fast food starved out a lot of local businesses. But all hope isn't lost. Allow me to elaborate. I mentioned that as a consumer, I give up specificity and quality for quantity and cost. But all consumers aren't like that. Specificity is very important to a lot of people, and AI cannot match the human imagination. Only you can draw my Sonic OC taking Amy on a date. But really, in the same way that Robotech support can't grasp hyper-specific problems, AI cannot, as far as I can tell, be as accurate as a human when it comes to hyper-specific requests. Now, in all honesty, I've used AI for some of my video thumbnails. Hell, I've made an entire video from it. And I understand both sides. Some of my closest friends are artists, and I love to support them. But with that support comes a heavy burden on my wallet. I know I should support the little guy as often as I can, but sometimes I just don't have the money, or the timeline is too short for any human to reasonably complete the request. It's very sad to see the livelihood of others threatened by a force that they cannot compete with. I think that if people have the means, they should 100% support up-and-coming artists and all artists. But I could be wrong about all of this. Who knows? Only time will tell. Speaking of supporting artists, you guys should support the ones that help me with this video. This video was made 1,000 times better because of their participation helping me understand this issue from an artist's point of view. Thank you for watching.